We are beginning Project 3 that begins on page 71, and the very first thing we're going to do is in our Edmodo account, we're going to click on the Lewis and Clark file, and if necessary you should hit escape, and we are going to save it in our student folder. So go to File, Tab, Save As, and go to Browse. And then your folder should come up. You may be defaulted into the Parker shortcut, but I need to go to Desktop, Parker shortcut, and your student folder. And make sure that you type your initials at the end. Hit Save. And now we are beginning to format the document on page 71. So first thing we're going to do is change the margins. So you're going to go to the Page Layout tab, the Margins button, and go to Custom Margins. In Custom Margins, we're going to do a top margin of 2, bottom of 1, left 1, right 1 inch. And let's hit OK. And then I'm going to use the Control A keys to select everything in the document and all the text, and I'm going to go back to the Home tab, change the font to Calibri, make sure it is size 11, go to the Line and Paragraph Spacing button and choose 1.15 from the drop down. And now we're going to add 10 points of spacing after the paragraphs by going to the Page Layout tab. Choose the Spacing After box and type in 10 and hit Enter. So that adds 10 points of spacing after each paragraph. And we're going to click to deselect all the text and highlight just the title and go to the Home tab and choose Title Styles. Okay. Now we're moving on and we're going to use the Find and Replace option. So let's click back up here in front of the title so we can get back to the top of the document. And make sure you are in the Home tab and go all the way to the right. And we're going to choose the Replace button. So here we are going to make sure we're in the Replace tab and Find What box. Let's type in Lewis and Clark Expedition. Make sure that you spell this correctly. The spelling is on page 72, number 4. And we're going to hit Tab on your keyboard, and we're going to type in Lewis and Clark Expedition. So basically, we are typing in the incorrect spelling, which you can see right here I'm pointing at. They've spelled Lewis incorrectly, and we need to replace it with the correct spelling. But also, we want to change this Lewis and Clark Expedition, these words, we want them to be italicized. So make sure you're clicked in the Replace With box. Click the More button. And we are going to go to the Format button and click Font. We're going to click on Italic from the Font Style box and hit OK. Notice it gives you a little example. Hit OK. And notice that this font says now Italic. You can click the Less button to make that go away. And we are going to click the Find Next button. Notice that it highlighted that same one earlier that I showed you was spelled incorrectly, and we're going to click Replace. And you're going to hit OK. Notice that it replaced L-O-U-I-S with L-E-W-I-S, and it made it italicized. Now you can hit Close on that box. Now we are going to use our Control key. So first we're going to highlight this instance of Meriwether Lewis that is italicized. hold down Control, highlight William Clark, still holding Control, highlight that one that we just italicized, and we're going to highlight all three of those. Click your Italics button at the top, and now hit Bold. So we wanted to bold those instead of italicize. Okay, so now we are on page 75. Now we are going to click off of these titles, and I want you to highlight William Clark and click on the heading Style 1 at the top. Do the same thing for Meriwether Lewis and heading Style 1. Okay, notice it takes out that extra space in between the title and the paragraphs. Now we are going to turn the page and be on page 76. We're going to now use the clipboard. So you may need to, if yours does not show up right here like mine doesn't, so I'm going to click this little button beside the word clipboard in your home tab, and it makes your clipboard actually show up. So what we're going to do is we are going to go and find the word Virginia. So I see it's right here in this William Clark paragraph. Highlight the word Virginia and go up to the top and click the word copy at your ribbon. So I click copy and notice that it shows up right here in your clipboard. Next we are going to highlight, scroll down just a little bit, and I'm going to highlight the whole Meriwether Lewis paragraph, including the title, and I'm going to click the cut button. Okay, so notice it disappears and it also does show up over here in your clipboard. Now we are going to click right in front of the word or the title William Clark in your document, and I'm going to go over here and click on the box right here that says Meriwether Lewis. So what that'll do is it'll insert everything that we had cut earlier, and it inserted it right above William Clark. And now I'm going to click right in front of the word plantation in this last paragraph, this William Clark paragraph. Click right in front of the word plantation and click the word Virginia. And notice it did not put a space in between those two words, so I'm going to hit the space bar to make sure there's a space so that it makes sense. You're going to click the Clear All button from your clipboard so that they won't show up again, and you're going to click the X on your clipboard pane. And we're going to go up to the top and you're going to click the Save button just to make sure we don't lose any of our work. Now we are going to go down or go to our paragraph that's Meriwether Lewis. I am going to highlight the very last sentence in this Meriwether Lewis paragraph, and I'm actually, while it's highlighted, I'm going to click on this sentence and I'm going to drag it up. Notice it gives me the little dotted line box showing me that I'm moving something, and I'm going to drag it in front of the paragraph and let go. So now you see we have actually moved the entire sentence. We need to click after that period after 1774 and hit the space bar to make sure that we have enough spaces to make it accurate. So now we're going to move on to page 80, and we're going to do page breaks and section breaks. So now we are going to go and click, what we want to do is we want to add a page break right here in front of William Clark to make sure that the entire paragraph gets onto the same page. So let's click right here in front of William Clark and go to the page layout tab at the top and look in the group for page setup, and we are going to click the breaks button, and you're going to click the next break option, or next page option. So you'll notice that the entire paragraph, including that title, was forced onto the next page, which is exactly what we wanted. So now we are going to see that it comes to the next page. We're going to actually keep this page with a 2-inch top margin. So make sure you are clicked on the second page right in front of William Clark, and we are actually going to change the margins of this second page only by going to Margins button, Custom Margins, and we want the top margin for this page to be 1, and all the others should be 1. So all the margins are 1, and make sure it says Apply to this section, and we hit OK. So notice we have a 1-inch margin here on the second page, and when I scroll back up, there's still a 2-inch margin on the top page, or the first page. Okay, so now we're going to work on page numbers. So we are in our document, and we're going to click up in front of the very beginning or the title. Let's go to the Insert tab, and we are going to insert page number. And we want the page number at the top of the page, and it gives us a bunch of options. We are going to choose plain number 3. That puts the page number in the top right corner. So click that, and when we click page or plain number 3, we're also going to highlight where it just put in this number 1. We're going to click different first page. Put a check in that box, and you'll notice that it made the number 1 go away, and we can hit this red close header and footer X, and now if you scroll down, you'll notice you have a 2 on page 2, but you do not have a page number on page 1, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so now we are going to insert our footnotes. That is some kind of extra information that we might need to explain for our paper. So we're going to move the insertion point or click at the end of the first paragraph. So right here after the word dollars, after that period there, put your insertion point, and we're going to go to the References tab at the top and click on the button that says Insert Footnote. Now you'll notice that it places a 1 here at the end of the sentence where we told it, and down here at the bottom where the number 1 is, that's where we're going to type in that extra information. So a lot of times what it is usually a citation for where you got your information, or sometimes it's a definition. We're going to type in the information on page 84, John Kukla, a wilderness